once again, finished with my workout and the sun's just coming up. There's power in this, y'all. I want to talk to you about vices today because we all have them. Comfort, drugs, alcohol, porn, food, passivity, inactivity. We all have vices. Vices are what we cling to when we're faced with discomfort. When we're faced with something we don't like, we have a choice. These internal negative pulls is a notification for change. And if you are choosing vices, you are choosing action, which is good. So it's not that we shouldn't deal with our shit. It's not that we should stuff it down. We need to deal with it. Because whatever you don't deal with deals with you. Whatever you don't own ends up owning you. But the difference is, what action do you take? For me, a vice of mine for a long time that I've still struggled with up until recently was to go get stoned. Every time, especially growing up, I would get stressed or I remember one time I got in a fight with a guy that was my friend at the time, like a fist fight. My first thought was to go get baked. I needed to tune it out. And it's funny because looking back, I always thought of myself as like an easygoing guy. And I know I am in a lot of ways, but a lot of it is just because I was tuned out all the time. When my wife and I first got married and we get into a spat, she would always ask me, like, why are you so cavalier? Like, why are you so casual about these problems? It's not that I didn't care. Well, I did care, but I didn't care enough about her and our marriage and our relationship enough to get uncomfortable and to face those things. What I am trying to see vices as, and these negative notifications as, and I encourage you to see, is it's not, I get it, discomfort, it's hard. It's like holding a hot potato, right? Like it's hard to hold on to that because it hurts and it's uncomfortable and you just want to get it out of your hands as soon as possible. But if you can stay present in the pain, that is where the growth is. These moments where you're holding the hot potato is an invitation from God. I believe in God, creator, universe, whatever you believe in. It's a gift from above. It's an opportunity from above to grow, to be present in the pain and grow. It's the only time. You don't grow in times of comfort. So if your life is filled with comfort, I promise you, you're not growing. In fact, you're shrinking. You're getting softer, both physically and mentally and spiritually. And so when you're holding this hot potato, just know that you are capable to hold it. After a while, your hand gets used to it. To really stretch that analogy, you get used to it and you begin to look forward to it because it's all about stacking evidence. The more times you choose to hold on to that, to hold on to the pain and to learn from it, to observe it and to grow from it, the next time it comes into your hands, you have immense confidence to be able to handle it. You can take a breath. You can know that you're capable because you've proven that to yourself. And you can grow in those moments. And I promise you, friends, I'm learning this right now. The more you learn to ditch your vices and hold on to that, the more you grow. You will experience immense growth and power. Immense growth and power. You know, I love what Wes Watson says about how regret is your motivator. Think about it. Have you ever stayed up drinking all night and then woke up the next day and been like, yes, that was awesome. I'm so glad I did that. Or is it usually you wake up and you're like, oh man, my head, I feel like shit. Oh, my bank account. Here's a really simple way to learn what to change. If you wake up and you regret what you did, that's the notification to change it, to not do that anymore, to look for something else. See, that's the key. We tend to just cut out drinking, for example, cut out smoking weed. You need to replace it with something that's actually going to help you. If you're following my channel, I'm guessing it's because you want to live a better life. You want to feel better. You want to look better. So why do we do that to ourselves? Why do we grab onto these vices that we know we're going to regret in the morning? I think because it's easy. It's harder to choose otherwise. But again, back to stacking evidence. The more you choose to not pick up the drink and instead read a book, go for a walk, hang out with a friend that isn't going to encourage you to get drunk, work out, cook a healthy meal. The more times you do that, the more times you experience what that feels like, the more you want it. And the less you want the other stuff because you realize this is not for you anymore. I used to binge on sugary shit all the time. And I would always feel sick afterwards, every single time. And it took enough times for me to go, there has to be something better because this isn't serving me. And it was hard and it was clunky. And there were times even after I chose to not eat an entire carton of ice cream and I would, eat a healthy meal or work out or drink water instead, that I would still go back to it. But it was a slow process, In a 7-day stretch, maybe I would choose something healthy 3 times out of the week. And then it was 4 times. And then it was 5, 6, 7. And I would still go back to it sometimes. But the more times I chose something better, the more I wanted the better because it made me feel better. So for you, if you're stuck in this, I need you to know that you have the power to change. You have the power to choose, and you are worth choosing the things that make you feel good. Share this with someone if it helps, and we'll see you next time.